This is some serious pulpit pimping. She already getting the darn check. But now what she want to do is get the kickback from the hotel, and it's actually brilliant in a slimy, grimy sort of kind of way.
Even though he has not always been protected, he's always been a protector.
Broken people saw that signal and done what they thought they needed to do to the request that I was making, and they just chose improperly.
He never told me nothing. I knew nothing about it.
I feel like everyone in my family, in some form or way, has been fondled or molested or raped in some form or fashion.
I couldn't understand how God was in me because I was that.
There was tolerated versus celebrated.
There's a wrong way and right way to do everything, and Larry always seemed to choose the wrong way.
Yes, I was drugged and raped, and that happened when I was 17 years old. Misfits have an ability to stick out. But if the misfit accept that they absolutely cannot fit in, then they become someone with an X factor. Messy as hell. Although people that are in the church and doing ministry are supernaturally gifted and divinely touched from another world, they are also human.
Now that I'm saved, I'm gonna keep it cute.
All right. Business.
Really?
Absolutely.
What you gonna do?
My grandma.
Okay, first of all, Miss Evelyn is going to defend herself.
Kingdom.
Me too. I'm going to record her and send it to HR.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amen.
Kingdom.
Kingdom sound like a party to me. Be praise music. Come on.
If it's the praise, I might join
Ain't nothing
in.
like the Holy Ghost at 2 a.m.
I might join in.
Okay.
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live, no spaces, to 33222. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation. Favorite entertainment, news, and talk show out here on the social media digital streets. My name is Larry D. Reid, and I am the host of this show. This platform, Larry Reid Live, is sponsored by the MBN Network, the partners and the members. Now listen, this is what I want to say to you. Tonight is going to be a conversation. You know, that's what we do here. It's an interview, but we're just going to talk, and y'all going to get to eavesdrop. The person that is here today is someone that I absolutely love. And yes, I am a fan, and I have been ever since of 2009. She turned me on. I better not say it like that because somebody played with that thing. But she turned me on as relates to reality show, particularly the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I just believe this was meant to be because I just want to talk to her like a fan. So your questions are going to be my questions, and we're going to know Nene in a different way after this interview is over. Take a moment right now, hit like, hit share, tell Naughty Dottie, every darn body, that Larry Reed Live is on right now. Now, I'm not going to delay it anymore. We are about to have the conversation with Nee Leakes. Ladies and gentlemen, let her know that you love her by just typing it in the chat. Oh, I love you, I love her. So she go back and she read the comments, she'll see what y'all said. And moderators, anybody talking sideways and talking yang, and all that that kind of going on, carry go bring come, make sure you get rid of them. We don't want you here. Come up there talking crazy. We're trying to have a conversation. Ugly. All right. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Nee Leakes. How does it feel to be you?
Oh,
you know, you the business.
Okay. I mean, it feels great, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yeah. Now, did you know? I'm going to tell you the story. 2009, I was moving into an apartment in Morrisville, North Carolina by myself. I've always been taking care of people and stuff, and I got tired, so let me get by myself. And when I did, they were turning to put my cable on. And the first face that popped up was yours. And I was like, okay, what is this? You know, because I wasn't into reality TV at the time. And when I saw, I said, it was just something about you that made me have this inspiration, like a premonition. I said, she's going to be a household name. She is so good. Because I went back and had watched the season before, and I have watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta that you was on every season.
Yeah.
You know, so you are an amazing soul, an amazing person.
Thank you.
And do you feel that?
I do. I guess everyone would think that they're amazing. I feel very lucky and blessed. And like you in 2009, well, we actually shot the pilot like 2007. And I want to say the show went live like 2008. And we had no idea that it would just blow up and be this big thing. And obviously, you never know what's going to happen to you. You don't know if you're going to be loved or not liked or whatever. But I feel like a lot of people love to hate me. So it really worked.
but you know, you have a whole lot more love than anything.
I believe.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, even when I saw you in the store, and it was crazy how that worked because I wanted to speak with you prior. And then seeing you in the store, it was like, that's Nene, but you felt really regular.
Yeah, I am really regular. I tell people that all the time. I am really regular. People see me and wonder, why are you traveling alone? Or why do you travel with like one person, two people? There are people that travel with entourage, like 10 people. And it's always maybe 2, 3 is a lot for me, and that will be all. But I feel very regular. I'm originally from Queens, New York, and I grew up in Athens, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, and that's where I finished high school at. And I would say that growing up was humble beginnings for me. My aunt raised me, which was my mom's oldest sister.
And then she recently died?
She did at 92 years old. She was so blessed. Yes, she did recently die. Almost 2 years now that she passed, about 1.5 years. And so I feel like not growing up with my mom and dad in the house and growing up with my uncle and aunt and visiting my mom and dad like they were the aunts, you know, when really they were my mom and dad. So I visited them during the summer, and I stayed with my uncle and aunt for school.
So were your parents in the same house, or you had to go 2 different houses?
I had to go to 2 different houses. Now, my mom, was very young when she had me, 18. So her sister was older, and her sister raised us. And growing up, I used to think, you know, why would she do that to me? And then as I got older and had my own children and my own life, I realized that she was trying to give me a better life. Wow. And so that's how I see it.
I mean, that's good you were able to resolve that. I mean, because I know a lot of people who have not forgiven their parents. Yeah,
for a very long time, it was very hard for me to forgive. But one of the things I know and learned for sure is that you cannot continue to drive your car backwards. You can't drive it backwards down the highway, right? So at some point, you have to put it in drive and move forward. So for me, I just, you know, everything that I've gone through in my life as a mom, as a wife, as a woman who's been divorced, a woman who's now a widow, all of those things, I just know, I wish my when I was raised, it could have been different. I wished I was with my mom because I needed her, when I was going to the prom or cheering or just anything, having my period for the first time, I needed my mom.
Right.
And, but just being a woman and growing up, I know that my mom was doing what she had to do.
Right. Now, I didn't even really lock into that part of your story until all you guys had on the white. I think it was season 7. And you begin like to shake about that.
I remember
and
that.
Brought up, you said, I can't discuss and talk about my
mom. Yeah, you have such a good memory.
I
wow.
can't tell you, I watched the show called
because that really happened. It was really a lot. Sometimes I think that, people around, they don't really understand. If you grew up in the house with your mom and dad, you obviously feel very different because you grew up in a 2-parent household. I did not. My home was broken. So even though I had a good life growing up, but I didn't have my mom and dad with me. You understand? So I talked to other people who said they've had their mom and dad in their life, and I didn't have my mom and dad. So when I had my children, I wanted to make sure they grew up in a 2-parent household for that purpose.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, then. These cameras are on, but it's us talking. I'm very interested in your story because you raised with your aunt, then you have a relationship with your mom that's not typical, but she still did.
Yeah.
And then now you get with Greg. How old were you when you married Greg?
When I met Greg, I was 28.
Okay.
And we were married by the time I was 30, 29. Okay. We married like a year later.
Wow. Okay, so for me, it looked like who was a wonderful person. Greg was.
Yeah.
I mean, if you meet him once, and we were meeting him through the TV, you could tell what kind of person he was. So I understood why you were with him because he was a good soul.
Well, when I met Greg here in Atlanta. There's so many stories out there about how I met Greg. It's so weird. Greg is dead and gone, so I can just tell you anything, right? Ain't like he can come back and change it, right? But the truth is, I met Greg, and he was with a guy. I wrote it in my book. I wrote a book. I'm an author of a book called Never Make the Same Mistake Twice, and it's a memoir about my life. And I met Greg through a mutual friend. They were out one night. This happened to be a guy that I knew, and Greg was hanging out with him. And he came over to me and he said to me, "Hey, my guy friend want to meet you." I saw them when they walked in. And when they walked in, I said, "That guy got on some nice shoes." I like men that wear nice shoes. And so I was like, "He's got on some nice shoes." And so on their way back out, he said, "My friend want to get your number." I said, "No, I don't date older guys." And he was like, "Come on, he a cool guy, Nene. You should give him your number." I only gave him my number on the strength of the guy that we both knew, right? But I had no intentions of going out with Greg, right? So back then you had the voicemail box that sit beside your phone. Yep. You know how you make your voice, you just make the answer machine. And so I would come home and play my answer machine, and Greg would leave messages like, "Hey, G call. Hey, give Big Daddy a call." And I'm gonna say, I am never calling this guy. He's making up all these names. And I was roommating with my sister at the time, and my sister and I had an argument one night. And I called everybody, all my girlfriends, and I got something to do tonight. I'm not in town. I'm going to dinner. I'm this and that. I said, "Well, dang, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna have to call Big Daddy." So I called Greg up and I said, "Do you want to go out?" And he was like, "Yes." And I was like, "That is so corny. This is already starting out horrible." And so he picked me up. He was the first guy that I ever had. He picked me up. He had the door open before I can come out. The door was open. He had flowers and chocolate. And I thought, this is so corny. I'm not used to dudes with holding the door with flowers and chocolate. Yeah. So it was during the Olympics in '96 here in Atlanta.
Big in Atlanta.
And they had just recently opened up Benihana's on Peachtree Street in Buckhead. And it was a thing in '96. So everybody was going there. So Greg and I had our first date at Benihana's in Buckhead. And once we got there, they said it's going to be a wait. So we decided we'll sit at the bar and wait, right? And while we're sitting at the bar waiting, we had such great conversation. When they called us to the table, I was like, "Hey, we are having a good conversation." We sat down at the table. You sit with all these people. And I didn't know what to order. He said, "I'll order for you." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Would you like some fish? Would you like chicken?" I was like, "This is nice. I've never had anybody treat me like this before." Right. So when the night was over, I said, "That was a really good day." Just I didn't expect it to be good. I was just going out with him because I had nothing else to do. And it turned out to be a great day. And every single day from that day, Greg would call me and ask me to go to lunch or go to dinner or have drinks. I always tell everybody Greg turned me on to eating dessert because you know how they bring the dessert menu around. I would say no. But Greg turned me on to eating dessert. And he said to me, probably about our 5th date, girl, you're going to be my wife one day. Wow. And I said, this man is absolutely crazy. I ain't going to never be his wife. But he's serious. And he was like, you're going to be my wife. And sure enough, we connected. But I've never dated an older man before. I had no intentions other than I was a single mom with 1 child. I was just going out just to be doing something.
So your first child is?
A college sweetheart.
Okay.
You know, I went to Morris Brown College here in Atlanta at the AU Center. Okay. And I met this guy, nobody special. And we had a child. We dated for probably 5 years. And he's my oldest son's father. And he's still in my son's there. He's in his son's life, of course. And of course, he'll probably call me and say he saw the Larry Reid show. Why did I say he was nothing? He called me up about anything. So he'll probably call me like, why are you saying that? I saw you on that show, you know. So anyway.
Well, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, so I had my first son and we broke up. When I broke up with his father, I was devastated because remember, I came from a broken home. Right. The last thing I wanted my son to do is be raised without his father in his life. And I would always tell my son growing up, I said, now, I don't like your daddy, but you love him. Yeah. Now, you love your daddy. You know, don't worry about me now. I want you to love your dad. And so they've always had a relationship. They still have a relationship today. And
I always tell people that the father of the child and your husband or your boyfriend, they're the same person. Yeah. You know, so it can be a great father, but it's not great for you.
They're not great for you.
Right.
Now, when I met my husband, Greg, he was so good with my son's father. They were my son's father would call Greg instead of calling me because I would let him have it. And he would call Greg and Greg would be like, babe, listen, work it out now. So Greg made sure that me and him stayed together. Greg was a great guy.
But see, that gives so much to your son.
Yeah.
You know, having all of that.
He had 2 great dads in his life. I didn't have to drop him to his dad's house. Greg would happily drive him over there and drop him. The guys got along good. It worked out for us. So you ultimately
gave your child a gift you didn't have.
That's right.
2
That's right. Father. And still his father is in his life right now.
So your mom, your aunt that you call your mom, she passed. And your brother.
My brother.
Hold on. Excuse me, my handwriting.
My brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law, right.
Yeah.
He passed.
That was Greg's brother.
Right. And then
Greg passed. All of these people passed within months of each other. You understand?
See, that's the thing.
That was a lot.
But see, remember when we met in Dolce & Gabbana, shout out to y'all. Remember I said, I want to talk about you. Because I watched the internet, you know, it got a whole lot of love. But I was like, okay, Greg's gone.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about how Nene is doing.
Right.
And I later read about all of the deaths that were consecutive, you know, and then there was a big change in the way you and Bravo. So how was that? I mean, you looked like you were okay, but you couldn't have been.
You know, I would have to use the same word that my glam said to me before. He said, you have a great poker face. And I'm not even trying to have a poker face. This is just how I look. This is how I am. You know what I mean? I have taken a lot of blows and I just, you know, I'm just.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
I'm just, you know, I am, first of all, I am strong, but I have feelings.
Yeah.
And I hurt just like anybody else hurt, right? And I think that a lot of people around me see the strong in me, so they always feel like I'm okay. Yeah. So, you know, whether I'm okay or not, I mean, I have to be okay because most people think I am. Yeah. And I always say that when you are naturally a strong person, people just don't check on you. They just don't feel like you need anything or help you in any kind of way. I do have some close friends that, you know, they sometimes can look at me and be like, listen, I know this is a lot. Like, you know, it's a lot I try to do my little cry and try to push on.
Right.
I mean,
Because that's what got me about season 7. I could tell you were really having a real
Yeah.
human moment on TV. I'm like, whoa. And you could tell that was not on script.
Yeah.
It was not supposed
it
to
was
happen.
because we had the doctor there. The you remember
Right.
you got a good memory.
The little short life.
Yeah.
So with a G.
Dr. Jeff.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. J.
Jeff.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Dr. Jeff. So anyway, and I always see these things on social media that says check on your strong friends. And I'm just considered a strong friend. A lot of things I go through them on my own. I try to think through it. I try to have a bad day. If I'm having a bad day, I try to have my bad day, and then I have to get over it because I have to continue to go to work. I mean, I don't have anybody to fall back on. You know what I mean? You know, I am the fallback.
And so that's how it is also in my life. And what I have learned to do is let my support system, the people close to me, know how I feel. Although I don't look like it and I'm still working, I'm not okay.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. And it helps me.
Yeah, it does. You know, what's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay, we really connect. Yeah.
And it was
really
just like meeting you. It was like, okay, she must be a Sag.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I'm strong, but I have feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's hard for people to really get that. So going back to what you said, all those deaths that were happening, and then the whole fight with Bravo, it was a lot on me.
Yeah. And I want to talk. I want to talk about that. But do you feel like you were betrayed in season 7?
I feel like I was betrayed a lot of seasons.
but let me take this is my viewpoint. You tell me. I felt like that you were being made a monster.
I think I was made a monster a lot of times.
Strategically made the villain.
Yeah. That's true. I felt that way as well. That's a very hard position to be in because honestly, I love entertainment and I love all the people that love me. I love you guys back for loving me because I honestly wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't had all these great people loving me. And it's hard when you're being put in a situation like that.
I see, I'm not saying that, because I can love you, like you, and be like, here's the truth. But I honestly saw it as you being made a villain. And I felt like it came from this. Now you tell me what you think. You are the queen of Real Housewives' entire franchise. And you were the queen of the show. I still see you as the queen of the show. And I felt like that there was not just the ladies, but it was something else that was saying, let's show her as the villain. And that was not okay.
No, it's not okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was bothersome to me. And I'm not even the kind of person, like, if I feel a certain way, I can leave you there. But if I think that's what I think, this is what I think.
Yeah.
And I saw that for what it was, and it was very clear to be seen. But did you hear what Kenya said at BravoCon?
I did.
You did. What you think about that?
Kenya has shown me love a couple times in the press. I also think that...
Wait a minute, in the press, but not on your cell phone?
No, not on my cell phone.
Oh, okay. Right.
But in the press, I feel like Kenya is smart, and I think she knows what's good for the show. So I think that she's speaking from that place. What's good for the show and what she thinks the show needs.
Because she's a producer.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody knows what I did for the show. So,
I'm telling you right now.
I'm not saying that no one else didn't do anything, but I definitely did. I definitely built.
You absolutely did. I compare you to Mariah for the Married to Medicine. I mean, she also was the key, but now she's like pushed out. So let me ask you this, and you only can say what you feel comfortable saying. Is there something that we're not seeing that is happening behind the scenes when it comes to the talent on these platforms or with these networks that's like sort of like trying to take your idea, take your talent, but then move you out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I ain't gonna push too much for that, you. but that's just how I feel. And that's the reason why I do my own thing, because I do not want to be done like that. And your talent is God given. Your faith. Let's talk about that. Were you raised in church or around church?
Hills Chapel Baptist Church in Athens, Georgia. We had to go to Sunday school. You probably like me. We had to go to Sunday school every single Sunday with my tight ass pan leather shoes on and my stockings, honey. You know, I had to go to church every single Sunday. I had to get baptized and the whole 9 years. You know, I just do everything. You know, on Easter, our cute little dresses on. You know, all of those things.
You're tight ass.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
That's clear. You gotta be.
Yeah.
And you must believe in yourself really deeply.
You do. And I pray like, child, I might pray 1 trillion times a day. I could be in the car and just be, Lord Jesus, I was just talking to my makeup artist, Lord Jesus, Lord, the Lord, honey, he's making a circle around the block, honey. About to get these people. Child, you know, I'm just, I pray all the time.
Yeah, so.
I really believe a prayer changes things.
Absolutely. It does. And the greatest thing it changes is our perspective when we pray. You know, if that situation don't switch.
It really does.
Yeah, our perspective changes.
It does.
Now, I want to ask you, since you are a person of faith, who is your favorite gospel artist?
Oh, my favorite gospel artist. Let me think. I would say Yolanda. I really like her a lot. She came down. Yeah, she sung at my husband's repast. And I just love her. And she's always in my inboxing me, you know, how you doing? Are you okay? You know, I see this, it's a beautiful picture. I love her. And so we flew her in for his repast and she rocked the house on down. Isn't she great?
I texted her right.
Her voice is amazing.
I texted her before we started the interview. I said, make sure you watch. And I didn't know y'all had a connection. She didn't tell me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's
she will say, yes, I was there for Nene when Greg passed.
Yeah, she is such a great representation of the gospel music industry. So your favorite gospel preacher or favorite gospel song? My favorite preacher? You know, I've had some preachers that I really liked. Okay, so I would say this. So when I was growing up and going to Hills Chapel Baptist Church back in Athens, Georgia, the pastor would be preaching and preaching and preaching. And at the end of the service, I don't know what he preached about, right? So when I got to Atlanta and went to Morris Brown College, Bishop Eddie Long had buses to come over to our campus and pick us up to take us to his church out in Lithonia. And so, of course, we all would get on the bus and go. And he would preach. This is the first time I really understood the Bible. He would preach and then he would teach the Bible. Like, this is what he's saying. And that's the first time I started understanding, right? All this time I gone to church, I don't know what they were talking about. Because I felt like Bishop Eddie Long had a teaching ministry. So he broke it down for us. So I used to really like him a lot for that reason. And then that changed. Okay. Then I started liking Pastor Noel Jones. I thought he was amazing with teaching and the way I got it. I was like, oh, I get everything he's saying. Then that changed. Okay. And then I liked the T.D. Jakes. Now I like the T.D. Jakes because my oldest son's father, I feel like he sort of resembles him a little bit to me. And when I was him, I said, you know, he sort of looks like him. And then I thought he was amazing. Okay, then that changed. So I done been all over the map with liking. You know, after a while, I don't know, something happens, and I'm like, I don't know if I like them anymore. It could be growth. You know, a lot of times. But not only that, it is. It's so bad because I shouldn't feel that way because they get in the press, and when they get in the press, then I don't like them. And because I grew up with a country pastor, and we ate at the church. You know, he came to our house, and a lot of times these pastors, they're untouchable. So growing up in my church, we could go to the altar and we could kneel and pray, or he could pray for us. And if something happened in our home, we could call him up and say, we need prayer. Or we could call him and say, you know, my mom's in the hospital. Can you come out and help us and pray for her? And they will come. And now these pastors are so big, like they have security.
It's just different.
Yeah.
So I'm, I like all of them.
Now, but what gospel song you put on when you feel a certain way?
Well, I love Leandria. And she has this song with this pastor. First, I like Better Days.
Yeah.
Better Days are coming, honey.
Yeah.
I think I just said that the other day. Better Days. They coming, child. Yeah. And I love her song. She has a song with a pastor I can't think of the name of it. They have a good one. And then I have, there is, let me think of who is this other song. What's her name? She an old school, Shirley Caesar. Baby, don't tell me nothing about Shirley, honey. Shirley got some good songs. She talks through it. She puts you in a situation and talks about it, man.
Yeah, she
put
does.
my phone to the side. She's amazing. I love her. She's an old school girl. I love a lot of people. Though I love what's his Marvin Sapp. I love him too.
Now, secular artists. Who is your favorite secular artist?
Would he be secular? What's that man name, Lord? Little Shorty. Would he be secular? What's his name? No. Little Baby is not secular. He
is secular. He does hip hop.
I don't feel he's a rapper. So is that secular?
Yeah, anything that's not gospel, I call secular.
Okay, you do. Okay, then.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna have to go with somebody else. I don't want to go with him. Okay, I'm gonna go with somebody else. Like I love Beyonce.
Yeah.
Oh, it's somebody. I love this new artist out, Money Love.
Oh, you know what? She's one of my most favorite new
she sounds
artists.
Amazing to me.
And her music, you get it.
Oh God, please! Everything she says is, I get you, girl. I feel everything you're saying. I have a lot of artists that I really like. I like all those girls. I like Nicki Minaj. I like The Stallion. I like all the. I like Cardi. I like all of them. I don't even know what they be arguing about. I'm like, all of y'all are great. What are y'all talking about, girl?
Sometimes I wonder that PR or is there any real beef?
There's probably some real beef.
Yeah, there probably is. Now, speaking of beef, because I always wanted to know this question, and it's about 3 people you have been with on the show. Mm-hmm. I never understood why you and Kandi didn't get along, or maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe y'all do, but it's just on the show you don't.
No, I mean. Honestly, I don't have an issue with Kandi. This is the God honest truth. I really feel she has an issue with me. Okay. And I don't want to speak too much about what I think the issue is, because I think she has an issue with me. I'm an original housewife. Yeah. I feel like that was an issue. I feel like I was noticed a lot. A lot of people, I'm not saying this. Yeah. People say it all the time. When we think of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, we think of Nene. Yeah. And I think things like that didn't sit well with her.
Because she is competitive.
She's very competitive. And I'm not competitive like that. Yeah. I don't see the purpose. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like her issue's with me. I don't have an issue with her. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. Because I couldn't understand it either. And I think she's great at what she does.
A lot of people, thought that we would get along. I don't have if I saw her, I would speak to her. Yeah. I just don't think she likes my presence.
Yeah, I get you. Now, I'm gonna tell you who I used to love to see you and this other castmate interact. And I think it's stellar right now. If a show dropped with both of you guys, everybody's gonna watch. And that's you and Kim.
Yeah, people love me and Kim together. There's no doubt about when we are on, we are on. And when we are off, we are off. Mm-hmm. And there's no doubt about the fact that we can capture a camera and work.
So it's on and off again.
I think our relationship is just always on and off. And I don't think it has any, I think it's weird when you're in the entertainment industry. There's so many people talking and pulling you and saying things. And I think that affects your relationship. Mm-hmm. Like the people around you, she did. I don't like her. Did you see what she did? She did it. There's so many people in your ear.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think y'all have real love.
I don't have I don't like some of her ways. I'm just being honest. But sometimes, in the entertainment industry, there's some people that work really well together and make good TV and probably can make a lot of money together. So we can probably do that part of it. And then go home. And that's okay. So there are some people that you can work with really good, and then after you be like, they know how to do their job, and then that's it. And it may have to be like that, and that's okay. I think that we would do really good in some television together, but I don't know.
Well, it don't sound like any real beef even between you and Cam or you and Cam. It don't sound really
No, me, I don't have that kind of beef. Again, I'm a Sagittarius. I don't know if they have anything to do with it. I will argue with you today, and I'll be okay with you tomorrow, honey. I really ain't got time, child.
Once y'all get it off with you.
Yeah, once it's over, girl, let's go on and have a drink, honey. It's really not that deep. Some of these people be holding on for 5 and 10 years. I'm still over here like, girl, when we going back out for a drink?
I'm telling you what's interesting. I remember there was a big deal about your house and the roach. Now, I just saw Jasmine Brand post this before we went live. I don't know if it's true. I didn't read it, but it said that she just lost or foreclosed on her $2.6 million house.
Yeah, they said it's going into foreclosure. It's going to be sold on a foreclosure or something like that.
Yeah. Man, that's and I like
that's
that.
hard to believe, and I believe that they will fix it. Before it gets to wherever it's got to go to the sale or whatever. I think that somebody's going to come and rescue her. Then they may not come rescue me. Right. But they will come and rescue her. So she will be rescued. We will have to work and go get this bread and pay for it.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody going to rescue her.
Yeah, it could be. BravoCon, were you invited?
I was not invited.
Hold on a minute. You were not invited to BravoCon at all.
At all.
Phaedra was invited.
Phaedra was invited this year. I don't think she was invited the year before that they did it. But they did not invite me. They have not talked to me at all, just being honest with you. They have not talked to me at all. I have made many attempts to try to, see can we talk and maybe work through certain issues, but it has been crickets.
Did you now, the lawsuit, where is it at now?
We still have some legal things.
Oh, okay. I thought I read it was dropped.
Well, it was.
Okay.
That part of it was dropped.
Okay.
It was dropped for a purpose for us to go into a mediation.
That was the judge ordered it, or was that
it was a mutual on both sides to drop, and we worked that out through our attorneys.
Right.
And the fact that we're in this situation is a reason why we can't really talk personally too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to speak through our attorneys. But
do you regret filing it?
I have to say I honestly don't.
Yeah. Did you feel like filing it was you speaking up for yourself?
It's almost like a child being abused, and I'm just over here asking for help over and over and over. Everybody's acting like they don't hear me. And I'm asking for help, and nobody hears me. I don't know why. I feel like my hands were tied. There was nothing I could do. I've asked so many times for help or for meetings or to sit down and talk and try to work through whatever issues.
You said help. What does the help look like for you from them?
Well, there's things happening that you are not privy to that are happening behind the scenes, and I wanted help, with the situation, and I just couldn't get it.
And they had the capacity to help.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that just happened in the media is Cynthia and Mike. They broke up. Now, I think Cynthia is one of the prettiest women on the face of the earth.
Do you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I do. And
have you seen her in person before?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
now,
okay.
I'm gonna tell you who I thought was okay looking, but I saw in person, was like, whoa, she's even more beautiful, and that's Sheree.
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute. You know what?
No, I'm serious. I am so serious.
Yeah, because I don't think she picked her pictures. She don't take pictures with.
No, I don't think she's a bad-looking woman at all. I don't think any of these women are bad-looking women. Yeah, I don't think any of these women. Yeah, I don't think any of these girls are bad-looking women.
Yeah.
And back to Cynthia again. What you
So
saying?
Cynthia and her new husband, they have broken up.
Mm-hmm.
And are y'all still friends?
Friends is a stretch.
Okay.
Because I don't know that we will ever be in that place again. I take the word friend very seriously, so I will not be using that word. That doesn't mean that we have any beef. We are cordial. She did text me when my son was sick recently, and I texted her when I heard about her and Mike breakup. Also, Kim Zolciak texts me, Sheree texts me, like so many of the girls text me, Portia, Drew, you know, with what's happened when my son got sick.
Yeah.
So, and when I heard this about her divorcing with Mike, you know, I sent her a text and told her, you know, we can go out for a drink if you'd like to go out for a drink. You know, I'm going to be cordial, like I'm grown. You know, once again, like I said earlier, we can have our thing and our beef, but we don't have to hold on to it forever. You know, we don't have to be best friends, but when in a time of need, I worked with her. I was best friends with her at one point in my life.
So y'all were real off
We were
camera.
real friends off camera.
Is she the only one that you were best friends
with off camera? In fact, I will go as far as say I really thought of her as my sister, and I don't know that the feeling was mutual.
Well, it seems like you're always in that position where even if you have a spat, you're always ready to get over it after you get.
Well, I'm kind of like emotional, so I might have a little emotional side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have my little. We might not speak for a minute, but I'm just not holding on like that forever. I just don't. Now we may not ever be friends again, but I don't have to. We don't have to hold on like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But when you're on a show like this, the show is created off of drama. Right. So, you know,
it thrives off.
Yeah. And that's what keeps it going, keeps the boat sailing, keeps the checks coming in. Yeah. So, you know, you argue with these girls and keep it going.
Checks. You get to the check. Glee, College Hill recently, and then all these seasons of Bravo and the other acting you have done. What does a Bravo check look like? I know you can't be specific, but what
does a Bravo check look like?
I mean, are we talking about 6, 7?
They have nice checks. They could be nicer.
Are we talking about 6, 7?
I don't think it's 6 now.
I mean, like
it's way more than that. For the girls,
or millions.
Millions.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Could be better.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're probably making
trillions.
Trillions. Yeah.
But that's not everybody now. Everybody's sitting on that platform is not. Yeah. Everybody's not making the same.
Yeah. So it's good that you checked out on Cynthia. But you and Peter were cool.
I had dinner with Peter last night.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, because this is what I think. To me, they were, and I love this because I get to know what you think. And I always want to know what you thought behind the scenes. Do you think her and Peter was her best match out of these men that she was with?
Out of Mike, I think Peter was a better match.
Me too.
But I don't think they will ever get back together.
Yeah. Do you think it's because of her family?
No.
Okay. All right.
I think Cynthia makes her own decisions. I just don't think that they will ever get back together. I think they've moved on.
Yeah. She's
gotten married and he's dating someone. I don't see it.
I mean, he did call her a queen. He said that she's always.
Well, I think, those are the right things to say when you in the press talking.
Right.
Queen. Yeah.
Now, if you were in control of Bravo and you had to cast the show, of course you're starring, who would you choose out of the ladies? If you were producing it, who would you have on it?
Out of what ladies? All the ladies that's been on.
All the seasons.
Oh Oh God, who would I have on the show? Of course, Kenya. She's great TV. The girls that are currently on, I don't know them, and I don't know what they really bring. This is a hard one. Portia.
Definitely. She's good TV.
Yeah, I think she would be good.
How about Phaedra?
Phaedra.
Good TV.
Phaedra would be good TV as well. She's a good read.
Yeah.
Let me think. I don't know who else. Candy's Atlanta, so why not bring her?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you can have Marlo there too. Marlo's fun.
She is.
I don't know.
I think that's a great cast. I think that would bring the ratings back where they need to be.
Not back where they need to be. Did the ratings go away?
Do you think the friction that you and Marlo had is because y'all are similar?
No, and I don't think me and Marlo definitely don't have a beef. Okay. I recently talked to her too. We just don't have a beef. Okay. Like, one of the things I would have to say about Marlo that I do enjoy is that we can definitely get into a fight and definitely be out having drinks. Yeah. We definitely can get into a big ass argument and then we can just be like, girl, you better come on, it's time to go. And we can kind of get through it. So I do love that part about her.
Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to know what was in your mind in a couple of viral moments when you and Claudia Jordan, and I'm going on record to say, because I heard people say about, Claudia was a great sparring partner with you, and that's true because she's done great in her reads. But you just took it to another level. In the back of your mind, while that was happening, and then after it happened, what were you thinking?
I don't know because it was so long ago. I just know that usually when we're in those kind of battles with people, for me, I'm just shooting. You know what I'm saying? I'm quick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of just quick on my feet in situations like that. And I'm just thinking, let's get this recession going. Let's go. Girl, let's go. Because this mouth gonna be bad. What is you thinking? So I don't know. I don't know what happened then. All these things, I go back and look at them and I'm like, I don't even know how I said it. I'm just quick on my feet.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
I'm just saying it.
Oh, wow.
It's just like you say something, I say something. It just happened. Your adrenaline is running. Oh, what? You said that? You said what? You just bam.
And you think that's what got Portia when she decided to drag Kenya? Adrenaline?
Might have been that and some Hennessy. But I don't know. I think with Portia and Kenya's situation, not saying Portia or Kenya did. I just think that Portia felt bullied and kind of like somebody poking the bear. Because I've been in that situation myself recently when somebody's like poking you. And it's like, now what you want from me? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you're going to have to get it in a minute. Like, what is going on? Like, if you're just poking somebody consistently poking them, it's like, cut it out. And I think that's how Portia felt. I'm not saying she, should have dragged Kenya off of that couch. Right. But I think she, in her mind, felt bullied. Right.
Now, you have brought some words that have became like, bloop. How? Who said bloop?
I don't know. I remember I was with Andy, and I think we were on Watch What Happens Live, and I think it may have been the New Year was coming in or something, and he said, what's going to be the new word or something? I think that, and I was just like, blue. And then all of a sudden it was just blue. And it was bam, and then it was just all these things. Yeah. And literally they were just coming out of my mouth. Wow. They really were.
So you handled the business behind all that, right?
No, actually I didn't. Actually, I'm just being honest. I thought that my attorney that I only had one attorney. I thought that he was working all those things for me. And later on, we find out that.
Wow. So I wonder if somebody else got the word.
I'm sure Bravo does. some of those things.
I'm gonna text my
well,
trademark
some of them,
attorney.
yeah, I trademarked some things.
Okay.
And then some things.
What did you trademark?
I can't tell you. a lot of shit. My trademark attorney get plenty bread.
Yeah.
You know, but every time I think of something, before I even come out and say it, I send it right to my trademark person. I try to secure the social media platforms and everything.
Yeah.
Because if you start saying it before that, somebody else go and get the platform, they go get the website, you can't trademark it. People are copycats.
Yeah.
Like you gotta move in silence. And I learned a lot of that too as I grow.
Yeah.
Moving in silence is very important.
Was that hard for you to learn as you go?
Yeah, because I'm happy about things that I'm doing, or I want to share them with my friends or whoever. So you want to talk about it, and you just can't.
Yeah.
You have to move in silence. I do believe that people pray against your success.
True.
And I think that when you say these things, there are other people watching and they're copying and they'll go out there and secure the stuff. So you just have to move in silence. And, it's almost like they say, you don't talk about the contract until the ink is dry. Yep. So you just have to wait.
That's true. Out of all of the seasons of you making did you originate your tagline?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So there was so many followers who gave me all these taglines to say. And for me, it was just different. Every year they would tell me that Andy wanted my tagline to be this or that.
Oh, okay.
And I may have wanted to say this, and they said that he wants it to be that. So then I end up, I think the one that I made myself, or the one that, nobody had an input was, we don't keep up with the Joneses. I mean, I am the Joneses, something like that. And then after that, ever since, they were the one with my wig. I'm the glue for my wig and for my family. Yeah. Andy, I think, came up with that. And I just kind of went with the flow with
so it sounds like you were not difficult to work with at all.
No, I didn't mind saying whatever it is they want me to say. I personally don't think I was difficult. I think what they wanted people to believe is that I was difficult to work with. And I think that if you were on set, you would be surprised at the ones that are the difficult ones.
Well, the one thing you did that helped make it look like that was when you said, and you closed down that laptop. What was happening in your mind?
What season was that? 12, I think. I'd have been through a lot. You're being attacked by everybody and ganged up by from everyone. That's never okay to me. And you have a person that's like, if you're running the interview and you see all these people are ganging up, you're supposed to do something right. And I felt like I just wasn't protected. There was no need for me to stay in the interview being attacked by everybody.
Yeah.
And then I think the final straw was they brought on a person into the reunion that was not a part of the cast, that didn't have a contract, that we'd never done that before. Like, I just didn't think that was fair to do. So I feel like people made a big deal out of me closing the laptop. And,
well, they did.
The thing is, how many girls get up and walk off the set at the reunion?
It was the same thing.
It's the same thing. I was at home, so I closed the laptop. I couldn't get up and walk off a set. I was looking at a computer. Yeah. So girls walk off the set all the time. Mm-hmm. They walk off crying, they storm off and don't come back, or they come back later, and then they say, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. The person storms off. It was no different. And then people are like, you closed the laptop. Like, girl, shut up. How many people walk off set?
Yeah. And I'm not saying...
I always felt like I was held to a different standard.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say that, but I don't want it, because I done said how much I love you. And I've always liked it from day one. But if you were wrong, I would say that. I would say, I think that. But it just looked
It was the same as anybody walking off a set. We weren't on set. It was COVID.
Yeah.
So we were on laptops and we closed them.
It really looked like you were made the villain strategically.
Thank you. I'm serious. I just always say to people, you got your own eyes. These are your eyes for whatever you see. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you how I felt in that moment. It just wasn't a pleasant time. It wasn't. And being attacked, I always feel like it's okay for me to be attacked, though. I always feel like, because everybody view me as the stronger one. So I just feel like the viewers don't really care that much if I'm being attacked, because I feel like they would say, oh, she can handle herself. She can hold her own. So she okay. But if one of the other girls, they might feel like that wasn't right to do her like that. Nene could hold her own.
Did anybody
Remember we talked about, even though I'm strong, I still have feelings.
Yeah.
So I still feel just like the girl who you think is a crybaby.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Lanithia Lounge.
Yes.
Now, it is a buzz in Atlanta.
Thank you.
It is a huge buzz. Even
we
if
worked really hard on it.
Yeah, if I wasn't watching Bravo, I still knew about the lounge. Just how and Leandria will go all the time.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, and
she's oh my God, her voice is insane.
It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So what's happening with it? You just had a big the gray haired beard
the
thing.
Foxes, the silver fox.
Yeah.
They're such handsome men. Yeah. So they're handsome guys. I think that because their beards are great, people think they're old, but they're not. They're actually some young guys, some younger ones that are in that group. So we just had them this past weekend at the Lanithia Lounge. They just came out and showed the lounge some love and mix and mingle with some of the ladies and stuff and had drinks. And
I hope you don't mind me bringing this up. You told me this in the store. I didn't know this. Your son, he runs the lounge. So when he got sick, and what was it that officially they said he had?
He had congested heart failure and a stroke
at the same time.
It was very hard.
Take me to the day you got the call.
So I didn't actually get a call. I was in my garage and Yanni, who you met, came in and said, I just got a call from Brent. And he said he's sick, but it sounds like he's playing a joke with me on the phone. But I'm going to walk on over to his house. And I said to him as he's walking out, I said, why would you think he's playing? I remember he said a couple of days ago he didn't feel good. And he had told me a couple of days ago that he didn't feel good. And so I called him. And when he answered the phone, I said, I put Brent on the phone and he was saying, this is Brent, like that. And I was like, oh my God, something is wrong. And Yanni thought they were playing. He thought it was Brent and his roommate playing, with him on the phone. And I hung up and, because we live across from each other. So I started running to his house and that was the stroke. He was slurring. So we couldn't really understand what he was saying. And once we got to his house, he was on the floor. And he's a big guy. And so Yanni couldn't get him up. His roommate's a smaller guy. He couldn't get him up. And we had to call the ambulance.
You saw that.
Yeah. But, I really would have thought in a situation like that, I would have just been freaking out. But I was really calm. He was freaking out. So I had to be calm because Brent was, y'all gotta, help me. And he was just all over the place with speaking and trying to get up and couldn't get up. And I'm on the phone with 911, asking for an ambulance because we can't get him up. And I've never called an ambulance before. They told me it was going to be about an hour before they could get there. I never heard of that before. And I called them back another time and they said to me, we don't have any ambulances right now.
Whoa.
And I was like, really? I've never heard of this before.
Wow.
I called them like 3 times and finally they were like, we have someone that'll be there in 15 minutes. I was like, what kind of mess is this? There's no ambulance. Because every moment counts when somebody's having a stroke. Yeah. And they did get there and get him, but it was very scary.
Now
he's still recovering.
Okay, so
it's going to be a long recovery. He's not home.
Oh, so he's still in the hospital.
He's not in the hospital either. Okay. He's in the rehabilitation for physical therapy.
Okay. Now, what is happening with the lounge? Because he ran it.
Yes, he ran the lounge. So we still have it. The managers are there. There's managers, and then Brent ran a lot of the office things, payroll and inventory. And he also DJs. He run the hookahs in the house. So, we just put other people in those places.
So you sold your house.
I sold my house months after my husband passed.
Right. And so are you going to keep the lounge? It's like your new baby.
No, I would love to sell the lounge. The reason why it's a long recovery for him. And it's a lot on me to do. I have to be there. And I'm there regardless, but it is a lot. It's just a lot. I need Brent. I got in this business with my husband and my son, right? And my husband's passed on and my son is sick. I don't want to run the business without them. You know, this was for us to do together. And my son would probably like, I don't want you to sell it, but it's a lot on me to do. And then still do my own thing. It's still a lot.
Is that the reason why you sold the house and thinking about selling the lounge because your husband and your son?
I couldn't live in the house at all. Okay, so when Greg died, I think I stayed in the house maybe 3 times. Well, I stayed in there after he passed, right? And then, you know, during that week, everybody's in your house. Like my house is packed with people. So it was okay for me to be in there. Once everything was done and we had Greg repassed, my house was empty. Nobody was there with me.
And I could see it on social media, it went dead.
Oh, I could not be in that house. So one night I slept in the house. I was up all night long. I called my son. I said, you have to come home. And he's like, why? I'm like, because I don't want to be in the house by myself. And I just knew then every time I would open that door, I could see Greg like standing there. He would always say when I opened the door, he would say, Nene, is that you? Or he would stand in the hallway. And so every time I opened that door, I always visualized him standing there in the hallway. I just couldn't stay there. Before he passed, he was telling me, he said, you need to sell the house. He was telling me that it's a big house, and our son, we only had one son together, and our son was wanting to move out on his own at the time, and it really was going to leave me in there.
Were there any other instructions he gave you when he was on?
He did. He wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to Brent, basically telling Brent all the things to do, like, you know, cut off all my credit cards and give your mom this, go to this account, get this money. He left a lot of instructions. He was very old school. He wrote a letter, child. This is the password to my account. This is the password to my laptop, to my phone. I really appreciate those things because when I was talking to like the banker, they all were saying to me, there's so many people that come in and, you know, they lost someone, they can't get into their account. They don't know passwords. And Greg actually wrote everything down for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you talk about those things and you're so strong.
I've had time to process the whole Greg thing. And it's not like we didn't know that Greg was going to pass. We knew he was going to pass. So the morning that he passed, we all were surrounded around him.
How long ahead you knew?
Say it again?
How long ahead you knew he was going to pass?
Well, I probably knew that Greg was going to pass like a month. So he had caretakers. And one of the caretakers had pulled me to the side one day. She said, you know, Greg is not really fighting anymore. You do know that if he doesn't fight a little bit harder, like he stopped wanting to do his physical therapy. He didn't want to do anything anymore. He didn't want to eat. And she was like, you know, this is not looking good, Mr. Leaks. And so we had a Zoom call with Greg's doctor. And Greg's doctor said to him, you know, if Greg doesn't want to do chemo, if he doesn't want to come back to the doctor anymore, he wants to just try to, you know, get better on his own, I would say that Greg has about a year left to live. And I thought, now what Greg did she see? Because this in a year, that doesn't look like that. Greg really looks bad right now. He looks really weak. And he's got really small. I don't see this being a year. And we started having nurses to come into our home, and they told us, they were like, Greg got about 2 weeks.
The nurses knew.
They were saying 2 weeks. I think Greg probably went 3.
Yeah.
They were saying 2 weeks. He went right after. He was going pretty fast. Honestly, Greg was tired. He was like, I don't want to do chemo. I don't want to do anything anymore. I can't do it again. It did make him very weak. He was very nauseous, and he didn't want to do it.
Did you relive all of that when you saw your son on the floor?
I did not. I was really shocked seeing my son on the floor. I just didn't understand why he was on the floor. You know, I didn't know it was I called my primary care doctor and put him on speaker. And he said he could hear Brent talking because he knows Brent too. He said, something has happened. I don't know what has happened yet, but something has happened. You got to get him to the emergency room. Like, I'm thinking, did he swallow something? Did something I don't know what. I just know that he is completely slurring, and he was just kind of like all over the place. I just didn't know. When we got him to the emergency room and they said he had a stroke and congested heart failure, I couldn't believe it. I said, what room are they talking about? And they were like, ain't he in this room right here? And I was like, who? I was like, they need to scan your bracelet. You know, they had the bracelet on. Right. You need to make sure you got the right person. Right. And they were like, yes.
Your ability to walk through hard stuff like that with what you call a poker face. You say your makeup artist said that. Do you feel that's okay?
I mean, this is just how my face is. You know, I mean,
that ain't supposed to be funny. What I mean is, do you think it's okay for you to not? Because I know you feel, but you don't look like you feel it.
I think maybe, I don't know, maybe that came with growing up.
Okay.
You know, being given away at 3 years old to my mom's oldest sister, not having my mom and dad there. I just, I've been taking hits since I was little, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just take a hit and just keep going. I just be looking like this. I do. I just said this to my makeup artist, and I said, well, why people don't feel like that about me? Well, why they don't? He said, because you got a mean poker face. Yeah. I was like, really? Because I'm just thinking, this is just my face.
Your eyes tell, but your face doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. Yeah. I will agree with that. Many people look at me and say,
twice sitting here, I could see it in your eye, but you just kept right on. going. My last question is about our former president. And your relationship with him. How did y'all meet? Is their relationship still now?
So I met Donald Trump. He invited me on to Celebrity Apprentice. And our very first challenge was Star Jones being the team manager at this pizza place. And so when they took us in to train us on how to make the pizza, I met the pizza guy, which is the white guy that ended up coming on Housewives with me, John. I ended up dating him.
Okay.
And during my time on Celebrity Apprentice, Donald and I just happened to kind of like just connect. And that was a friend of his, the pizza guy. And that pizza guy owned all of these pizza restaurants all over New York and all of the airports everywhere. And then we ended up talking. I would just have to say that we just kind of had chemistry, Donald and I. We just kind of liked each other. And I remember the day that I said to him, I'm going to get Star Jones. I'm getting her today. I said, I saw her through that mirror, and I asked him, I said, is it okay that I get her? He said, get her. I knew then that me and him were going to be cool. Me and him was cool. He was always just cool with me. So after Celebrity Apprentice was over, he had his people to reach out and ask me to judge Miss USA for him, be one of the judges. I said yes. Greg and I ended up getting back together, and we had our own show. He filmed a little scene with me. We just kind of connected. It's just one of those strange things when you meet somebody and we just had a conversation and we just kind of like, I was like, he's kind of cool. And he was like, she all right. And we just kind of talked.
What do you think of him as a president? Because I think the same way.
I was actually... he's very entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Well, I will say this about him being the president. I've never watched a presidential debate ever In all of my years of living, I never really cared about them until he was running.
Right.
I thought he was the most entertaining.
Hilarious.
I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. I was on CNN like glued.
Yeah.
He was a lot.
Me too.
I never would have thought he would have been that kind of president. He taught us a lot on Celebrity Apprentice about doing business. And he came off as a very smart businessman. He did rub me as the type of person that can adapt to any situation. I felt like he could, if it was a group of Black guys and they were all talking like really cool or really, whatever, I felt like he could just jump right in and be just like that. And then if he was in a boardroom with a whole bunch of, white men or all kind of men, he could just adapt to that situation. I just felt like he was really good at adapting. People would like him. I thought he had the personality that he could be kind of likable. So once he got in office, I was shocked at the way he was. I think the most shocking part of it was him just being on social media, I think, like just saying stuff.
But he always was on social media.
But I think in that position as the president, I don't think people wanted to see him, like every thought he had to be on social media. I did not vote for him. I just didn't. I know a lot of people that did. I know lots of people that did, Black, white, green, and purple. I know all that have voted for him and they liked him. And now when Biden ran, I know a lot of them said they switched their vote just because of, I guess he turned off a lot of people. Yeah. But I also know a lot of people that said they made a lot of money when he was in office. And I know people that said they're not making as much money. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Nene, I could listen to you talk on any subject. Mm-hmm. Are you open or have aspirations to do a talk show or anything like that?
I've always been approached to do talk shows and radio shows and all this forever. I'm just being truthful. I feel like someone or something doesn't want me to do that because every offer, anything I've ever had in that area is somehow disappears.
Is that then, do any part of you think it's connected to the Bravo situation?
I won't answer that.
Okay. All right. Do you think you can do it on your own? I think so, but as long as there's no one, behind the curtains pulling all these different strings. I have a lot to say. And one of the things I say to my team around me is I love to keep it 100, but I have learned being in this industry that you have to keep it about 75. Whoa. You can't keep it 100 because 100 is too much for some people. So you just have to keep it about 75 and sometimes don't have an opinion or keep your opinion, very mediocre. I mean, so I don't keep it 100 now. I keep it 75. Now, when we're at home, I keep it 100. The truth is, because there's a lot of people out here who don't want to see you win. So you might keep it about 75. Every now and then go to 80, but then you bring it on back. Now, I've watched Wendy Williams switch. On radio, she was like keeping 100. Then she went to TV, she went to like 80.
You think 75. So? Because I thought she was 150 on there. And then she went way past 100.
But y'all ended up being friends.
No, we were friends. We were frenemies, probably more than anything. I really liked Wendy. Whenever we got together, I would go to New York and Wendy and I would just go out to dinner by ourselves. Just she and I. And people love seeing me and Wendy walk into a restaurant together. I mean, they die, come back to life when we walk through the doors. And they'd be like, Lord, I don't went to heaven. How is Nene and Wendy walking through here today? And, we would just sit there and just have a normal girl dinner. I loved talking to her. I think she loved talking to me. And then something happens. I don't know if the TV happens or the producers or somebody saying you can't be friends with her. And then she just goes off on me. And I'm always shocked when she goes off on me. I'm like, what's she going off on me for?
Yeah. what do you think about what the journey she's going through now? She's really going through. What you think of that?
I think so. I think I saw somewhere where she's better now.
Yeah.
I think she went into rehabilitation, rehab, and she came out. I think she's in a better place now. I don't know, but I've always genuinely liked her. That was just my genuine side. And for me and Wendy to connect, we just connected genuinely. You know what I'm saying? It was no, I want to talk to you. She interviewed me one day and we just was friends from that day on.
Wow.
That's just how it went. And I wish her the best. She was great at her talk show. Yeah, she was great. Nobody could do it like that. Because she had plenty of drama, plenty of lies, all kind of stuff. It was just, girl, can't nobody beat you, girl. You won. Ain't nobody going on there doing all that. You got it. I think she'd be good doing radio.
Yeah, I think she should do podcasting.
Oh, I think she'd be amazing.
I would watch. I would listen. I definitely would subscribe.
Oh, yeah. She would be amazing doing it, So, yes, once again, I'd love to do something in that space, but I don't know.
Yeah. Last question, I lied earlier and said
that's okay.
But what do you really want to do right now?
I don't know. It's a lot of things I want to do, and I've told you from the beginning, you don't tell nobody what you want to do. So you gotta keep this shit quiet.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna just keep all my dreams and aspirations to myself, and I let them come out one by one. Because you start saying this stuff, people be out here trying to stop it. It's unfortunate, though, isn't it?
It is.
You would really think that you can just get out here and do whatever, but you can't.
I remember when I used to have interviews with high-profile people like yourself, I would tell them, don't advertise it. I'm gonna drop it a few hours before I do it, because people from the industry will say that don't go on Larry Live
They
show.
would do. Listen, I saw the flyer and I was like, now I wonder if I should retweet this or put this on because you really have to think deep like that.
True.
Now, people who don't know the business, they'll be looking like, why wouldn't you? Of course, post it. Right. You're like, no, you have to be really strategic about this stuff.
You don't know who's friends with who likes
right, and what they're going to say and do. Yeah. And it's just like, look, we'll drop it 10 minutes before we go live.
Right.
We don't need nobody coming over here trying to stop nothing.
Exactly.
Because people will jump in and stop it. So
I mean, it happen. That's so very true. It's very true.
Well, I'm happy to know that I inspired you in some sort of way, you're here doing this.
It's not no little way. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, the TV came on and I watched. I said she's gonna be a household name, so I continue to watch you. And on my show, I make up words. I trademark. That was you.
Yes.
Yeah. And then later on, Leandra had played a big part of me actually getting on the show. But it started the interest of reality TV, and everybody around me knows it was you. So having you on tonight was like, wow.
Great.
Actually meeting you in the store, because I was talking to Yoni, and we was talking about the clothes. And he was like, this suit ain't right. This is not proper. This is not made correctly, speaking in the dialect. And so the people there I know really well. And so we just all started talking. I said, wait a minute. I said, ain't you thinking, Nene? He said, no. I said, you a lie. And he hollered.
He came over and said, that guy asked me, was I dating you?
Yeah. Because I have to know what's going on in the community. And after talking for a while, I said, you look like, He said, she's here. I said, she is? I said, I didn't see it. I said, well, I want to meet her for before y'all leave. But we got caught up in doing the clothes, but it timed it right because you were coming out.
Right.
And it worked well. It was easy to just talk to you really easily. And I hope that in this interview, one of the things I wanted to do was to really just discuss your thinking, how you view things, because I do feel as though you were purposefully made the villain. Yeah, and I didn't like it, and I always am drawn to people who are done a certain kind of way. I sort of do that on my platform for women, the LGBTQAI+ community, and children. So I love you.
Oh, thank
and I'm gonna be praying for you, your
Thank
success,
you.
and everything you got going on.
Well, let me make sure I let all of your viewers know to come to the Lanithia Lounge. It's located in Duluth, Georgia, out here in Atlanta. And also, I have an organization called Ladies of Success.
Oh, I know about that.
Yes,
I some LRLs are in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is for entrepreneur women who are eating the fruit of their labor. A lot of times when you're an entrepreneur woman, or even someone like yourself, when you get to a certain place in your life, you don't have people that you can talk to, travel with, shop with, go out to dinner with, because you've elevated, right? So as you elevate, your circle becomes smaller. I always would say when I go out, I'm always the one reaching in my pocket to pay for everything. Nobody at this table can help pay for anything. I got to get me some new friends. You know, you need people that can do some of the things that you can do. So that's why I started Ladies of Success. So we can, like-minded women, so we can have some of the same conversations, do some of the same things. We're having our convention is November the 10th through the 13th in Miami, Florida. And you can go to ladiesofsuccesscircle.com.
Ladiesofsuccesscircle.com.
Yeah, and join the organization. It's a girls' weekend. A lot of these women do have boyfriends and husbands. And what happens is they usually come too, but they're just not a part of our conversations. But they're in the Florida area going to dinner and stuff like that.
I heard about it through an LRL who's a partner. And she was telling me about it about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have a place in Miami.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I want to have a place there too. Gosh, you're doing it.
And it was not easy. That's why this is the reason why you are someone to look at, because I watched you build it, and I built mine from the ground up. You know,
but that's good.
I just got on the internet and I just started talking.
And look at you.
Yeah. You know, generating millions a year.
That's great.
I'm able to employ family and friends and help so many people. I've helped so many people. I've raised millions for other people.
Yeah, it takes a lot though to just, like you just decided to just get on the internet and start talking. Like everybody can't do that. These people don't know they cannot. So you to get on the internet and start talking and be entertaining enough where people would just watch you and listen to you. That's a lot. That's a gift.
Yeah, it is. And that's how BET found me. American Trap Queens season 9. That's how they found me. On the internet. Just talking. You know. So I admire your ground up. How you do it.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's not easy. It's not easy doing that. But again, I was saying, I'm so grateful that I was able to inspire you in some sort of way. And you look like you're doing amazing. I mean, you was in Dolce & Gabbana, honey. It wasn't like you in Walmart. You were in Dolce. And it is super expensive up in there. Isn't it expensive?
It is. It's expensive.
Oh, my God. I was like, get me out of here.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Isn't it nice? I can't stand it. I just rather walk past the door. Like, everything in here is gorgeous. I hate y'all. Bye.
I don't go all the time.
Yeah. But every now and then when you go, you're like, wow, look at all this stuff. But you will spend a bag in there if you don't get out. Easy. So, thank you so much.
And thank you so much for trusting me.
Yeah.
Y'all, Nene didn't make me have to write down no approved questions. I said, I just want to talk. And she was a yes.
Well, when I do interviews, I always say I'm an open book. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing you or Kelly and Ryan out in New York City. The deal is I'm an open book. You can ask me anything you want to ask me. I don't have to answer. So there's no need for us to go back and forth over the questions. You know what I mean? You can ask us a child, I ain't going to answer it today. Now go on. And we're going on to the next question. You know what I mean? So I always just say I'm an open book. So let's just talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's not a big deal to me. You know, so whatever. Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, you know, I can continue because I'm thinking about when you were on The View. That little.
Who did I have? I've been on The View a few times. And I think I was on The View. And did I have something with Whoopi? Or who was it? I can't remember.
Whoopi, but I remember the going back and forth. Like,
was it with Joy?
I think that's what.
Joy Behar. Child, whatever. We were going, I was on Broadway at the time. And I just can't remember. I just know that we kind of like went back and forth. But I fight all those girls. It don't matter. It's going to be fight with all those old queens, honey. And they'll be like, bye, girl. Call me back another day.
And Broadway, you looked amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I remember saying that as the godmother, right?
Yeah, I was the wicked stepmom.
Stepmom, that's right. Yeah.
And then I went on to Chicago, and I was
that's right.
I did Chicago,
right.
Mama Morden.
Yeah.
And then all those girls followed behind me.
That's true. I think Candy did it.
Oh, did she? Oh, did she? Oh, she did, didn't she?
She did. She went. Yeah, there a few that went to Chicago.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Lily.
Did they?
Oh my God. This is the reason why. If they want to get it, and Kenya was right. If they want, we Kenya right around there.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, that she was right. If you on that show, you just have a natural, God-given thing.
Listen, thank you. Ain't nothing else to say. Just thank you.
And thank you. All right, guys, we are complete. This will not be the last time, especially with the ladies. What's the website again?
Ladies of Success Circle. Ladies.com.
Make sure your moderators put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Ladies of Success Circle.com. Sign up, ladies.
The Girls Weekend is November the 10th through the 13th in Miami, Florida.
Okay. And when they go to the website, they see the registration and all of that.
And we'll be going to Peter's restaurant. He has a restaurant out there. We'll be hanging out.
Is it good?
It's very beautiful.
I asked.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, good food.
Okay. Okay. Caribbean.
Yeah, it's very good.
Where in Miami?
Right off the beach, right on the beach, actually. Right as you're like leaving the beach, it's like right at the edge. It's very beautiful. Very great. A beautiful location.
On the licking.
Oh yeah, they have a line outside. It was good. I didn't eat because every time I see a line, I'm like, I'm turned out by the line.
Good. And they got this lemonade, a whole bunch of different colors and the stuff they put in.
All kind of sugar. Diabetes gonna be coming on.
But it's really, really
I
good.
bet you it's good.
All right, make sure you go and sign up, Ladies of LRL. Oh, if we had known that, could have done like a discount code.
LOS, that's okay. We could, later.
Later.
I don't mind. Yeah. Whatever you guys want to do.
And I have an event every single year. And 75% of my followers are Black women. And I bring them in. Oh, I'm messing up the mic. Lord, I done dropped the mic. Lord, I'm sorry. How long it been gone?
They probably can hear you.
It just now? Okay, hold on. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I wish you could see questions from them, but you can't because it's very hard.
Actually, they can tell me the questions.
Who can tell you?
Them back there.
Oh, y'all see questions.
Hold on, I can sit on my phone. Let me go ahead and be ghetto.
How you do that?
Let me be ghetto. and so I can look up.
I just know they saying all kinds of stuff. So I was just like, what are they saying?
Yeah, they're probably asking so many questions.
Do you see questions?
Okay, now, I don't know how many people are on Facebook, Kendall.
877.
And on YouTube, 3.8 thousand. I'm looking at. Okay, out of these 4,000 and something people that's watching us live, I'm pretty sure you got a question. Oh, here goes one. Can you ask Nene if she thinks she can return back to Bravo Housewives of Atlanta after the legal arbitration situation with Andy Cohen and the network is done?
First, I would say never. And I think that, with a sit down, I think anything is possible. I think anything is possible with a sit down. It's just all about, do they want to sit down and can we work through any issues? I'm open. It would be on them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see. Please ask. Oh, that's the same question. Everybody wants you to go back on.
Yeah.
When is Nene's birthday in December?
December 13th.
Mine is February the 13th.
Okay, December 13th.
Yeah, December the 13th. So what happened with Tamar?
I don't know what happened with Tamar.
So y'all not getting along?
I don't have any issues with Tamar. I honestly don't know what happened to her. What I do know is I I honestly don't know what happened to Tamar. I'm just being for real. The little stuff that I did here, it's just too petty to talk about, honestly.
Right.
I don't have an issue with her.
She was at my event this year.
Mm-hmm.
She's dope.
I'm just sitting over here listening. What I do?
You're
I
you say a lot without saying anything.
Okay, say that because that's it. What's the next question?
Both of you are pretty women.
Yeah.
Man, I love Tamar.
You know, these black women, listen, I don't know what to tell you, baby.
Somebody said Nene needs her own production company. I can see that. What are your thoughts on having your own production company?
My thoughts are, yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So I said we quote Nene lines from 10 years ago to this day. She is an icon.
Thank you.
How does that feel? You feel that?
I see it a lot. I read it a lot. A lot of people say she's iconic. She's done a lot for the culture. She's in the the Smithsonian Museum out in DC. I definitely feel like I contribute.
Yeah, definitely. What do you personally think about? They got so many questions. Personally think about the last few seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I haven't watched the season since I left. I only see the clips that come down social media. You know how they get those little clips, and I've clicked on some of those and watched them. I'm probably like some of the viewers. Where they get that girl from? Where they get that girl? What are they doing to the show? Like they should have there's so many fabulous black girls that are fun. And I feel like, the Housewives of Atlanta should have fabulous black girls.
That is the truth. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go because Yoni texted me and said he wanted to take you out to eat or something.
Oh, honey, well. You tried it.
He said he wanted. We're going out to eat. I said, "Oh, it's okay. All right. Go ahead, y'all going out to eat.
I'm going out
and end my show.
I'm taking Freedom to dinner. Actually,
listen, we cannot let you leave. I want y'all to see these bad shoes that she got here on her. Look at this. Look, Chanel. God, I know my baby mama. You met her. She done the COVID test.
Yeah, it's your baby mama. Okay, I seen her. Yes,
I know she looked at them and she's looking them up.
Well, these are definitely the latest in Chanel. They were selling out a lot. They have solid black and they have this. I love Chanel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've never been in the store.
You haven't? Mm-mm. Don't go in. Okay. It costs way too much in there. And actually, Yanni bought me these. Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't have them.
He was buying you something in Dolce & Gabbana?
Yeah, he was. He was buying me something in Dolce & Gabbana because, we're friends and our friendship has been about a year. Okay. And so he was buying me something
I forgot. There was a lot of drama around. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. What was the drama, Mom?
It was his ex-wife or...
his wife.
His wife. He's still married?
Legally.
So what you doing?
I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I mean, they're separated, but you're asking me if he's legally married. He is legally married going through a divorce.
Oh.
And so
she's dragging her feet?
I don't know which one of them are dragging their feet. I think that they have a lot of things to settle.
They got children?
They have one child. Okay. And I think that they are just trying to work through those issues. Mm-hmm. And also, North Carolina has a different law than the state of Georgia. True. So they have to be separate, I think, a year before they can go into the divorce situation. So that is what has taken the time. But no, I'm not out here trying to date anybody's husband. If she want him back, she can come back and get him. Because I am not going to be in a situation where I'm somewhere arguing with somebody. I know Freedom is over about this. Because I'm not going to be arguing with nobody about no man. I'm not taking no man. If he ain't available, he sure wouldn't be over my house. You know what I mean? No, I'm not. I'm just not her. Yeah. So I was really I really felt some kind of way.
Once you found out,
he told me everything from day one. He didn't lie to me. I felt some kind of way when she was trying to like sue me over Yanni.
That don't make any sense.
Like, girl, listen, y'all ain't together, but don't sue me, you can have him back.
Oh, God.
Shit, it ain't that deep, honey. I can send him back over there. But because it makes make you look like you're some like house wrecker. Like, did you break up a family? Yeah. No, I met him in Atlanta. I didn't break up any family. And once again, he can easily tiptoe back over there because I'm not holding anybody. Yeah, I got you. You know what I mean?
You're in a whole different space.
Right. I'm not trying to keep the man. Girl, you can have that man back if it's that deep. Like, please. I am not her. No, Yanni and I genuinely connected.
Is it friendship or dating?
You mean Yanni and I?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a friendship that went to dating. Mm-hmm. We started off as friends and then we started dating. Right. And
is it exclusive or you still dating other people? You said I can ask anything.
You can. I'm just trying to figure out how to answer. We have been exclusive.
Oh, you're not exclusive anymore.
I don't know.
You know what you're doing and what you're not doing?
I don't know. I'm confused right now. I'm in a confused state. I don't know what I'm doing. We were exclusive.
Okay, I get it.
And I think we still, we're working on it. We're just working.
Someone wants to ask me this question. This is not my question. The question is, Carlos King. There's some beef between you and Carlos King.
Never.
There isn't.
No.
Okay. So, I wonder what it is they want me to ask. Let's put Carlos King.
Carlos King was our executive producer of Real Housewives, and he executive produced many of the seasons that I was on. Okay. And now he's executive producing. What's the shows that something Alabama's show? Huntsville something, and then something Bells.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is.
I don't either. Yeah. But anyway, no, he's a great producer.
Right.
Yeah.
But him and Candy has beef.
Him and Candy has beef.
That's what it is.
Right.
Okay. Because she feel like he
stole her life story or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, listen, I'm going to just end it. We could just talk and talk.
I got to ask you a question before you end
it. Ask me anything.
Now you're on. You have your show on YouTube and
Facebook.
And so, are there any other? IG. Oh, you do? Clips on IG so that you can drive them the other way. So, do you have beef with these other people that's talking on these shows, on the Facebook shows or YouTube shows?
They got beef with me. Most of them I don't even know. The people I know, I don't have any beef with.
Well, I always think when you're doing something like this, you should try to limit being friends with other people that's doing the same. Not that you guys can't be friendly with each other, but sometimes it's hard to be friends. Just be friendly.
Well, see, I don't know how to fake.
No, that's not faking. You're being friendly. You're not being friends. Because see, friends, that's what the part that gets you hurt. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just be friendly.
I just learned that. I mean, anybody tell me how to do this?
I know.
And then I went to sleep one day. Next day I woke up. I was
doing it.
I'm like, so I had to get used to everything.
Yeah.
And I did not know that. So if we meet, and we cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be me. I'm a great friend.
Yeah, you just be friendly.
Yeah, but now
But you ease your way into it. So see, sometimes, you can't just jump into the friendship. Ease your way into the friendship. We talk, we went to drinks. Okay, that's it. Okay. I check on you it's...
Well, Nene, I don't have that. And maybe this is great. We're having this conversation because there's nobody I have a great mentor, Bishop Bernard Jordan, who you need to meet, and Carson Pearson, who you probably know his name. But I'm the only person that is in my life that is self-made and is popular. I mean, every time I go out, I get stopped. So there's nobody that I can say, well, how you handle the situation? I had to figure it out.
You have to figure it out. There's no handbook. Yeah. There is no handbook when anybody gets in the entertainment industry. You have to learn your way. I'm naturally a private person. I have a small circle. I've always been like that. I do a lot of things I told you in the beginning by myself. I am my own best friend, and I am happy being just that. My circle be this big with the people in it. Some days I'd be like, well, dang, is anybody? Let me look down my phone to see who do I need to call? But then there's other people that I know outside this circle, and then you get with them and socialize with them. Then you go back, crawl back into your hole. And so you go to the little Facebook or whatever, YouTube meetings and talk to everybody and connect, because you need to network, you need to know people in the industry. Right. Sometimes you have to call somebody and get some information. So you need to have those friendly relationships, but that doesn't mean you have to be friends, quote unquote, and get hurt.
Well, see, I just learned that. I mean, I when I come in your life, I bring everything I am, and I'm learning.
So do I.
I'm learning not to do that.
That's why I try to stay back, because like you, I'm friendly. I like to talk to people, hang out. But when I see people coming at me now, I be like, no, I don't know what this is gonna turn into. Yeah. I don't know. I'm scared of everybody now.
Yeah. So, and the beef that people have with me on YouTube, of course, there are a bunch of lies. Like I know there's harbor lies about you, but I don't know these people.
I don't mind. Yeah. You grow thick skin.
Yeah, I don't mind the lies anymore. I embrace
just grow, just grow the thick skin, and
now, if it's too bad, I'm filing a lawsuit. I'm the lawsuit king. I'm gonna file about 3 more coming.
No, some things just are not worth addressing.
You're right.
And you just get thick skin. You be like, you know what? Because sometimes when you address those things, you help them. And you help them. So stop. Don't do that.
And another thing I don't like, I think, I'll tell you what's good up under my skin. I ain't got but 5 nerves and feel like the mess and stomp on all 5. What I do not like, because I'm in commentary. So if something pop off popular, I talk about it. I don't break stories.
Right, you talk about it.
What people be saying, oh, I heard this on Larry Live. They credit me with breaking the story. I didn't break it. I always repeat what was already out there. But when you're in this
industry, that's what you do, bring the entertainment news.
Yeah.
You can talk about anything you want to talk about. They tuning in because you're bringing them entertainment. I'm not saying I'm breaking the story. I'm going to tell you, you heard it over here, but maybe you did hear it here first. I don't know. But it was certainly other places when I started talking about it.
Right.
I mean, you're supposed to be able to touch on everything.
Yeah, I do.
I have a couple of friends who are bloggers, right? And I always say to them, I said, listen, if you guys want to talk about me, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Just be cautious about how you talk about me, because we friends now. Exactly. We're gonna be friends no more now.
That's right.
Be cautious about how you talk about me. You gotta have your couple of people that you don't talk about really well. You gotta have some kind of good friend.
I'm gonna tell you, I've talked like John Gray. We weren't friends when I first talked about him. The story blew up.
Who is he?
John, he's a pastor that had a big story. He bought his wife a car for a birthday, and something was all in the news. But
his wife was called for her birthday?
No, he bought his wife a car for the birthday, and I went live talking about the car. I said they've been married for 8 years. This is a $300,000 car. He probably done cheated. Then it came out that he cheated, so I went and done the story. So what I said.
Why you thought that?
8 years of marriage, you spending $300,000 per car. That was my thought. I wasn't correct. Well, I was correct.
You're not, because how many people drive $300,000 cars?
He at the time he won't no 50 rich.
Oh, he wasn't like that. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
No.
Yeah.
So when I seen that, I was like, I'm just saying right. But long story short, we ended up becoming cool. And since we became cool, he still did some bullshit. So when I talked about it, I would ask, why did you do this? What was it about? And so when I done the commentary, I would just say both sides. Well, they saying this, but this is what he said.
Right.
So by me having a relationship with people,
him,
if I have a relationship with you, before I talk about you, I'm going to call you and get your side. So your narrative is with my commentary.
Well, that's what Wendy used to do. And then she would just start adding all kind of stuff on it.
I ain't never doing that. I think that puts negative karma, and that thing come back, and then you end up with big old legs.
Right, God is working around the block. He's moving around the block.
Yeah, so I can't be having that. No.
Well, I think you're fantastic.
Well, really?
Yeah, I do. I love your outfit.
Thank you.
Yes, and I think you should keep going, and you should talk about whoever you want to talk about. Because at the end of the day, these people are not paying your bills.
They're not.
So you talk about whoever you want to talk about, and you can be strategic in talking about certain people, i.e. me. So everybody else, you can slay them. You just be light on me.
No, I would have been comfortable. Only thing I do is it would have to come into the public first. And then after come to public, I'm going to make it funny when I'm telling the story and then say what I think. And I move on to the next conversation. I don't get stuck on people and stay on one person. I don't do any of that. I mean, 'cause that doesn't pay me. It's not, I don't like it. I don't like to talk about the same thing over and over. You know, so that would.
Is there any blogger out there that you admire?
I hate to say this.
Why? Like it's somebody you like admire, like I love listening to them or listening to their news.
There's nobody.
Nobody, okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you why, and there was.
But that's okay.
But there was. But then after I watched, I'm like, are y'all obsessed with these people? Do you hate these people? Do you
keep talking about the same people? Yeah.
And then when you start doing that, I'm like,
Well, is there? Do you watch others? Just look at just to see what they're talking about.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's smart to do.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I didn't get into the Cardi and Nicki beef. I didn't like that. You know,
be strategic about what you talk about.
Yeah, I mean, because I like both of them.
Right.
You know, and I want one to see me say something that go viral and they think I'm team this one. I know I like both of y'all. Why y'all fussing? You know, that's how I look at it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like both of them. They're both quite talented.
Very talented.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Oh my God, they did something together. Oh my God. That would be awesome. But oh my God, people would go crazy. They never, I don't know, people would go bananas.
For real.
Yeah.
I would be like, especially, I mean, my best part of Nicki's talent is when she's doing that quick rap. When she's doing the little slow rhyme, I think is, you know, really killer. When she gets into that quick, man, I love that. I would love to see them do something together.
Nice. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we gotta stop. We don't end this show 3 times. All right. If you're watching the show right now and you have enjoyed Nene, I want you to hit like and I want you to share it and I want you to tell everybody about this show. I'm gonna put clips on IG so that you guys can see I can make 10, 12 clips out of the conversation that we have.
Oh my God.
We have to add. All right, thank you guys for watching. Take care. The social media videos about the play. Make sure you follow me and text Larry Reid Live with no spaces to 33222 so I can always text you whenever I'm live. See y'all later. Bye.
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live, no spaces, to 33222. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation